Greetings, everybody. My name is Dan Amrich. I am your community developer on behalf of Rocksmith. You have found the Rocksmith weekly live stream, and even though tomorrow's a holiday and nobody wants to do any work in the office today, we decided to come in, drag our butts into the studio, and put on a show for you because it's a really good week. We've got Halestorm. I'm so happy about this week because, man, we need more, like, good stuff like this. I mean, good is relative, but I think these are really tasty riffs. I think these are really fun bass lines to play, and hopefully you feel the same way. So Halestorm 3-pack this week. We will play all three, plus we have some other Halestorm in our library, so we'll throw one of those in for a bonus fourth song. We've got our Ernie Ball giveaways, maybe something you could be thankful for, and we've got some new business to talk about towards the end of the show, but we'll kick it off with the trailer, and we'll get right to the music, and we'll be back with our first song after this. Thanks for being here. That's what we've got this week. It's a three-pack from Halestorm. We'll play all three of those songs today. And in case you're new, for one, we're on a different day today because of the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. And hello to all of our Canadian friends. We know you had metric Thanksgiving like 6 weeks ago. But we're going to be out of the office on Thursday, which is when we normally do our show. So we moved it back a day. But if you're here and maybe that U.S. holiday has made your schedule free up to the point where you can join us live and you've always wanted to do that, well, in that case, welcome. We are coming to you live from San Francisco, where our program Rocksmith is created. And what happens is the note trackers, the folks that actually make the songs that we put into the game every week, and we put on a show, and we're going to save that rec center. Mostly, we just kind of want to show you what's new in the game, and of course, if you have any questions or if we can give you any additional playing advice on the songs this week, that's what we're going to do. So, welcome if you're here. We do have giveaways as well. If you're just here for free stuff, we're going to be giving away some of the Halestorm DLC this week. We've also got some prize packs, some Ernie Ball. So if you play guitar or bass, you're probably going to want to enter to win those too. But let's kick it off with a song with some people. You know these people. It's Travis Kindred over there, and it's Sam Schwartz in the middle. Both of them note trackers. Hello.
Hello.
And happy Thanksgiving week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed your shortened work week, which means you still have to do 5 days of work in 3 days? Enjoyed?
You know, it's funny. The second half of the week way better than the first half.
Yeah. I'm looking
so far, yeah. So far, I'm enjoying this this downhill slope that we're on now.
Like my alarm goes off at 6:15 every day, and the first thing I did today was turn it off. I'm just like, you are not getting me in the morning. That's it. You guys are playing a very well-known Halestorm song, which is "I Miss the Misery."
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which of you folks did the track? If either of you, who is responsible?
I did it.
That'd be Sam. Sam, what did you learn from "I Miss the Misery"? What can we look forward to that's in this track?
This track it's full of. One of the things that she does in this track that's really cool is she plays her vocal melody during the chorus. Or during maybe it's the pre-chorus, but she does the vocal melody on guitar, which I always think is like a cool thing to do. And it's hard to hear in the mix because her voice is obviously front and center, but the guitar part is there. And then live she does it, and it sounds really cool live because it's a little more stripped down than what you have in a recording.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. And then you got to learn how to palm mute and chunk away because she always does the downstrokes too when she's playing. So and she's always doing those downstrokes, which gives it that certain flair during the verses. So
yeah, it's a definite sound. The downstroke palm mute as opposed to the alternate pick.
Right. Yeah. If you do the alternate pick palm mute stuff, it doesn't sound quite the same. But that's why you'll hear for this particular song, you'll hear that and that chunkiness is just coming from those downstrokes. And it's a good thing to work on if you've never done that before. So lots of fun.
All right.
She's awesome.
This is Lizzie Hale we're talking
Lizzie
about.
Hale,
Lizzie Hale,
Lizzie Hale, who's the leader
Halestorm.
of this band. Yeah, so when we were researching this band, a lot of times you'll come across a bunch of different videos. I found one of her playing. She was doing it was like a Dave Grohl tribute in Nashville, and she was singing "The Pretender," and I was like, yeah.
Oh, I would love to hear
dude,
that.
yeah, it's nasty. She chat, go nuts. Find it's right on YouTube. It's oh man, it's so good. She just blows me away. I actually started listening to this band after we did Love Bites. And Kevin and I Kevin was doing that song, and I was like, this is cool. Who is this? And started listening to Halestorm. So I have since become a fan of the band because of Rocksmith.
I've seen some people say that this week. They're like, I wasn't familiar with Halestorm, but I like what I hear, and I'm going to go check it out. And that's always the nicest compliment. We love. Some people, I always say that everybody's musical experience is different. You all get exposed to different music at different times. But if Rocksmith becomes one of those places where you get to hear a band for the first time and then it means something to you, that's the best feeling for us.
Yeah, man. And then you get to dig your toes in and learn how to play it and learn even more. So
then it becomes part of your...
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to you playing I Miss the Misery with your toes. Digging in. Here we go. It's I Miss the Misery by Halestorm, one of the 3 songs available in this week's Halestorm DLC pack. As Sam mentioned, we do have Love Bites, So Do I, also in our library. Not part of this pack, something we brought up before, so you can track that down,
really
too.
hard.
Yeah, we're not going to play that this week.
We're not going to play that this week. That song is really hard.
And after this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the Ernie Ball prize pack giveaway right after this.
Oh, there we go. I was like, my chord's out. Just downstroke.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one bass line. That bass part's tricky, right?
Yeah, I'm really glad I practiced.
hard on bass. That bass part is disgusting. I totally forgot about that.
It's really fun.
That is so wonderful. I do love that bass part.
Dude, the bass part is amazing. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so creative.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
All the thirds and everything.
Yeah,
so
the thirds.
Good.
Then it's fun because there's just a couple of tasty licks in there.
Look at you go.
My. Well, thank you very much.
99%.
Hailstorm, if your bass player gets sick, we got. You know,
hey, what's up? But yeah, it's really neat. You know, it's like there are a lot of bass parts out there, right? And especially a lot of rock bass parts, and it's not exactly that every single bass part's like super juicy. You know, it's got like all your basics that you're looking for. You know, your dun dun duns, your dun dun duns, bum bum bum. But then you get this be-a-doo dee doo dee doo. You know, that's so cool. It's like a it's so much fun. And then of course the
I was like, when I was transcribing it, I
so
was
cool.
like, what is that? I thought it because it's in guitar range. Like I thought it was like one of the lower guitars was playing it, and I was like, wow.
Right.
But then I was like, it sounds like, and then I was like listening for the bass, and I was like, oh, that's the bass.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
And it's so funny
like,
because you never see that in rock like this. Like it's almost always it would be like something like something similar to that maybe. Using fifths or using
usually
octaves.
You don't have the thirds, right? It's just like it's so
yeah, I thought they were fifths when I first heard it, and then you were like thirds. I'm like, oh, he's right.
Yeah,
you know, and it's something I would do in something like in a funk thing.
Right. Hashtag Travis Funk.
Yeah,
and it's so cool to see that here. I love that.
It's very cool. Yeah, this
it must have been really fun to track.
It is a lot of fun to track. It's always this band was full of surprises for I think everybody who was involved. Like Love Bites was like my first, you know.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I was helping Kevin with it when he was doing it, and it was just like, and he was like showing me all these riffs, and I was like, these are really hard. like there's a thing where. Right. And, you know, and then there's this other thing that's. It's ridiculous.
I was playing through it. It's like minor
I
scale shape the exercise. It's so crazy.
It's something like that. It's so nuts. It's super hard to play. But yeah, it's just like again like one of those bands that like maybe you don't know enough about, and then you hear about them, and it doesn't matter where you hear about them. You should just buy their tracks in our game because they're really cool.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Here.
Yeah.
Giveaway time. Let's do that Ernie Ball prize pack. The first one anyway. We've got 2 of these to give away, and they both look exactly like this. What you've got is regular slinky strings. You've got for both your bass and your guitar. So these are good sort of like medium gauge strings. Whether you play lead or rhythm, either one. I've actually still got 10s on some of my guitars, and I've got some 11s on other ones. But these are the 10 gauge. So if you play lead, this will not be too heavy for you to be able to wail. And if you play rhythm, it won't be so light that you'll feel like the strings aren't there. The bass strings also are good middle-of-the-road bass strings that do a little bit of everything for you. Plus, everything else that you see here is going home with somebody. We've got the Wonder Wipe system. I'm a big fan of this, and I talk about this a lot. But I believe in keeping your guitar as shiny and pretty as humanly possible. And honestly, It's easy to keep your fretboard conditioned. It's easy to keep your strings clean, and of course polish your guitar with the Wonder Wipe system. This is a little sampler pack, so you'll get a little bit of everything that you see there. Plus a brand new peg winder to change your strings, make that easier. We still have some more of the black nylon straps as seen here. They're running out, though. I got to ask for some more stuff from our friends at Ernie Ball. And then a dozen picks, including 3 bonus picks here from Rocksmith, which you can only get here. The Rocksmith picks, the Rocksmith logo picks, as seen in the game, you might say, or all over the game, are only available here. We make them special, and at the moment you're going to get some of the black and white picks from the 1,000 song milestone that we celebrated back in April. And now we've started to use some of the pink picks that David Stevenson suggested that we make based on our little Skullboy character. That's our guy. So all that stuff can be yours if you win this giveaway. UB Vertigo is our community manager, Doug. For the record, Doug's office is closed today because he works on the East Coast of America and we're over here on the West Coast. So not only did Doug, he was supposed to not even come in today, but so he's working from home, which is great, but I feel bad that we made him work. So Doug is doing this giveaway. Please, we give thanks for Doug. And UB Vertigo will tell you everything you need to know to enter this competition right now. And if you don't win the first one, don't worry. We've got more free stuff to give away later in the show. Hi, I'm over here now. Wow, that's the magic of studios. Sometimes I can just keep talking, and that way nobody knows that I'm moving.
It's true.
I find that's the
just keep talking, Dan.
Yeah, it's Brian Pody,
Don't stop.
folks. You may I can do that. You know I can. Brian Pody, one of our note trackers here. Hey, I want to give special credit to you and Travis. I'm very thankful for both of you because our audience has already figured out that this is the first week that we're broadcasting in 1080p.
It sure is.
Immediately they spotted, they said that it looks really good. They noticed different camera angles and little tweaks and lighting and stuff like that you guys have done.
Yeah,
and that's all to you guys. You're the directors of the show, basically. So
the camera tweaks were kind of necessary from switching a few other things. But
right.
They're a little different. So good eyes.
Yeah, well, glad somebody has them. But yes, thank you so much. The audience obviously notices.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, never happy to just leave it be.
No, never a dull moment.
Yeah, we're gonna do another song now. This is Ms. Hyde, or as she says in the song, Mrs. Hyde. Adds a I don't know whether it's just artistic license that she adds a syllable to Ms. Hyde, but regardless, I'm gonna jump in on bass on this one because I really like the groove, and then I found, oh man, this is harder than I thought.
Yeah, the bass lines are for real.
Yeah, the bass lines are for real. I mean, this is my favorite kind of bass line because it's just at the border of what I feel I can do. Like with practice, I'll be able to nail it, and it'll be very comfortable. And still just challenging enough that I'm interested. Right now, I'm a little to the left of that in terms of I'm still moving forward. So this is probably I'm pointing to the fence and saying maybe 88%, maybe 89%. So most of it'll be there, but I did notice that I'm missing some of the little fills and the sort of like personal expressions that the bassist is throwing in here, and they're really fun. But I'm like, oh, they're gone by the time I realize they're there. What's on tap for guitar?
Just hard rocking, straight ahead, good stuff.
Are you doing rhythm or lead?
I'm gonna do the rhythm path on this one.
On behalf
for
of
Dan.
Yes, thank you for rhythm guitarists.
The lead path is like just a little bit more textural, single note stuff, and the rhythm path is really that like rockin' groove that's super fun to play. So I thought I'd give that a little love and play that today.
All right, cool. Then let's do it. Ms. Hyde by Halestorm, one of the 3 songs in the Halestorm song pack. After this, we'll actually give away this DLC on Steam. We've got some codes for these songs for free, and you could win our next giveaway. Also, I'm supposed to be playing this with my fingers, but I'm playing it with a pick. I can see Travis frowning from here.
Tell
harmonics in, so it's on. Descending bass line.
I love it.
I was talking with Anthony about that chord shape just the other day.
I think I did better than I called, actually. I'm feeling 91. I wanted to point out that, like this bass line really made me appreciate one of the other tools in Rocksmith that we don't talk about too much. Oh, 93, I'll take 93 and a half, sure. I'm going to be a superstar. This is, like, there's a lot of motion, obviously, up and down the neck on this. You're not playing a lot of strings. You're going up and down the main E string. You're doing a little bit of futzing around on the blue string, on the D. The best way to practice that, I still think, is Dux Redux. Yeah. Because I needed to know where those frets were from muscle memory. I kept sort of like, I don't trust myself on a full-scale bass. I usually play a short-scale bass, so obviously...
Yeah, I saw you practicing this on the
I practiced it on... Yeah, I practiced it on the like the Epiphone viola, like the little sort of Beatle violin bass, and then I switched over to the Explorer bass. I was like, give me the longest possible scale, because I knew I'd be playing it on this, and I just didn't want to build the bad muscle memory of... Right. Where the 8th fret is, oh no, that's actually just the 7th fret on a full-scale bass or whatever. So getting yourself to automatically know where the frets are and getting your arm used to making those shifts. That's what Dux Redux and Guitarcade can help you do. Ninja Slide N is also pretty good for this because there's a couple of slides in here, but that was one where I was just like, oh, I could just play Guitarcade for a week and maybe build up some more of this muscle memory. But yeah, I mean, you're whipping around there. That one riff is... Like, you got to know where those are because they're too fast. You can't be looking all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you can look away, my trick for that is, like, look at your destination because then you will go where you're looking.
Sure.
It's kind of like drawing a straight line, like draw where you want to go.
Sure.
It's the same idea, so...
But, yeah, I like that track a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. All these songs are great.
And I'll take 93% any day. Hey, it's time for a giveaway. Let's give some stuff away. We have 5 codes of this Halestorm DLC pack available now for you. And UB Vertigo, our friend Doug, is going to give those away while we take a short break and I get back to the safety of my podium and try to answer some more of the questions that may have come up in the meantime. Yeah, I forget what the hell we're doing. Oh, yeah, it's a 60-day challenge thing. So,
is.
our
Brian.
video break.
It's Brian, another Brian.
It's yet another Brian. Like, we needed another Brian. The 60-day challenge is a concept that we put out there for Rocksmith players. You know, we get a lot of, does it really work, and how long does it take, and that kind of stuff. Well, you know, yes, it really works, but it takes as long as you want it to take, or as short as your system allows you to. Like, everybody learns at a different pace. But we do find that if you spend serious time every day, you will find yourself progressing faster than you may expect. So we had a couple of, we had quite a few people actually take the 60-day challenge, which was play for an hour every day for 60 days. And it doesn't even have to be consecutive days because, you know, we all get busy or you have things to do or you have to go somewhere. But if you play for about 60 minutes a day for 60 days, suddenly you look back at where you started and holy cow, you'll be amazed. So here's Brian's story. This is an actual story of somebody who actually took the 60-day challenge when we launched this game and how it worked for them and what it was like. So you can try this too if maybe you're looking for a New Year's resolution already. I don't know if you're already shopping for New Year's resolutions, but no. Learning to play guitar is obviously a huge one for people. So check out this video. Hopefully you'll be inspired. And when you come back, we'll play that bonus song by Halestorm after this.
My name is Brian Redmond, and I'm 18 years old. When I was a freshman in high school, I realized, you know, I always just played sports, and, like, that was it, you know? And then I was like, well, maybe guitar, you know, guitar's cool. People play guitars around a campfire. So I went and took, like, 6 lessons, right? It was, like, once a week. At first, it was so cool, you know? It's like, I got an electric guitar. It's this blue, cool guitar, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I think this is gonna be awesome. I used it, like, 3 times. With the schedule I had with playing sports, I was just like, it's not worth it to me at this time. I would love to do it, but, like, it's just not working. I took lessons 5 years ago now. And I know you're supposed to strum and hold the pick, and besides that, I couldn't tell you a thing. I think there's 6 strings. There's 6 strings on a guitar. I can almost be positive on that, I think. I'm definitely struggling with the chords themselves. I can't figure out how you're supposed to lightly hold this string while you hit it and then let go and, like, make a noise. Like, I'm really struggling with that. My strumming has got quicker, like where I can hit faster notes, and I really like fast notes and fast songs. I'm actually getting the right finger in where I need to be on quick, hard chords, so I'm really happy about that. It's really becoming a serious hobby for me, and my friends and family are noticing that, and it's cool to see them see me, especially now that I'm getting better. At first, I was kind of like, don't look at me, because I'm no good, you know? But now I'm proud of how I've progressed, and I'm glad that they can see that. What's most important for me right now is that my progress is continuing to improve. I think I'm kind of making some big steps here. I'm just really happy with where I'm at right now. Before I started, if someone told me I would be where I'm at now at day 60 with playing the guitar, I'd call them crazy. Everyone was making fun of me, you know, at first, like, we know who you are, you're not musical, like, it's not gonna happen. Everyone that I talked to was like, well, go take guitar lessons. Like, that's how it's gonna happen. If not, you're looking for an easy way out. But when they started seeing the results, they're shocked. I feel like, yes, I can call myself a guitar player now, but I want to become even a better guitar player, and I want to keep going. Rocksmith, the 60-day challenge, was just the start of what's, you know, hopefully yet to come.
Learn to play in 60 days. That could be you. You could be a Brian, too. We have plenty of Brians here. We don't need any more Brians. My name is Dan Amrich, actually, Dan Brian Amrich, and I'm the community developer on behalf of Rocksmith. If you've just stumbled in, we're at about the halfway point of our weekly live stream. We're doing it a little bit early. Normally, we do this on Thursdays. We've moved it over to Wednesday because tomorrow is the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving, and we get a day off. Yay! Wow, people are really enthusiastic here in the studio. What we're doing this week is we're playing the music of Halestorm. Hopefully that's a hard rock / heavy metal band. I don't know how they classify themselves. Sounds like hard rock to me, but you know, I don't know. Those lines are always blurry. But Halestorm is our 3-pack this week. We've got a couple of other songs, literally a couple of Halestorm songs in our library already. So this brings the total collection to 5. So if you like what you're hearing this week, hopefully you will seek out the other 2. One of them, I think we should play now, don't you? What do you think? My guests in the studio, Jared McAdams over there on the bass, and Anthony Martinez. Hi, Anthony Martinez.
Hey, Dan.
How
How's
you
it
doing,
going?
my friend?
I'm doing well.
Yeah? You and the cat's good?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are a recent cat adopter.
I am.
I guess.
Yeah.
The cat would be the adoptee. What's the name of the cat?
It's Enzo.
Enzo.
Yeah. So Nikki and I adopted a cat about 3 months ago, and he's 6 months old.
So he's totally like, is he in? Does he get the house now? He understands where his zones are, and
Totally, and he always crosses the line. He always goes where he shouldn't be.
that's what being a cat owner is.
It's awesome. He's super adventurous. We take him outside every now and then.
Aww.
And
Do you have one of those little harnesses?
We do.
That embarrass both you and the cat?
Yes.
Or one of
Yeah,
those where
that's-
it looks like an invisible cat.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
That's phase 2.
Should have thunk of that. That's why we keep Jared McAdams around. Jared used to be a note tracker, but you've ascended now because you've been working on the iOS version of Rocksmith that we'll talk about a little bit later. But you haven't done note tracks in a while, have you?
It's been a while since I note tracked.
Do you miss it?
I do deeply.
No, you don't.
And it's a very enjoyable thing. There's a meditative quality to it. There's a certain focus that comes with it. I mean, back me up here, man.
You do seem
making me look
blurrier
like an
now
idiot.
that you're no longer a note tracker.
Very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I started, I guess it was like 5 years ago now.
Wow.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were one of the many people who trained me and provided me with peer reviews, and I learned a lot from this guy.
Uh-huh. So
I don't believe it.
so if you're the tracker of this song, then that makes me the grand tracker.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's more like a vampire relationship. When you spawned him.
Yes, my progeny.
You sired, whatever it is. Somebody who knows vampires, tell me all the things that I'm missing. We're going to play Bad Romance, which is, of course, a Lady Gaga song that Halestorm covered. And this is something that we just recently put in our DLC library, maybe about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And this was one of the most popular songs in the pack, which is why we're bringing it back for a second thing, because holy cow, people really liked the idea of songs they already knew being reinterpreted by artists that maybe they weren't familiar with. And boy, Bad Romance went over super well. And you did not play it when we played it on the stream. I believe Vincent and Emmy played on that. Yeah,
That
because
sounds about right. Yeah.
I think that was
I
it.
think that was claimed like well before we even.
Well, yeah, they were
talked about the
super
stream.
excited
Yeah.
to play that song.
Yeah.
But why? I don't even remember why you weren't here that week or didn't do it.
Probably wasn't in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that might have been it.
Slacking off.
Yeah, you're probably just slacking. What do you recall? Because I know you tracked to this months ago.
Oh yeah, and I've been playing it, refreshing my memory. It's an awesome tune. It's a great cover of what's already a great original. Totally different stylistically.
Sure.
And yeah, there are a lot of goodies in the lead arrangement, which is what I'll be playing, and a nice supportive riff, on the bass path. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. Let's jump in.
Yeah,
Let's
fun for
jump
the whole
in.
family.
Let's do it.
Yes, Bad Romance by Halestorm. One of the 3 songs. Was it a 4-song pack? The rockin' covers.
Four.
I think so.
Yeah, I guess it was a 4-song pack. You could buy all these songs individually, of course. If you just like one but don't like all the rest, you can buy them individually. It's cool. After this song, we will do some Q&A with both Anthony and Jared. So if you have any questions about Rocksmith, start thinking of them now. Very
Nicely
nice.
done,
That's
my
fun.
friend.
Thank you, man. Same to you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
It's a
funny.
cool tune, yeah.
And a couple
really
people in the chat
is.
room were like, "Oh, I actually didn't realize that they did this cover," and so it was good. Then that worked. Like that's what we wanted to do, is raise a little bit more awareness and let you know that there's some fun stuff out there.
Covers are fun. Like hearing a song you know well in a different context.
Sure,
kinda
you already
redone.
have the emotional investment in it. Like
Yeah.
you know you like
Yeah.
it or you don't like it. But sometimes I've heard covers of songs that I wasn't crazy about the original, but I preferred the cover because it was a reinterpretation. Sure, I love seeing people do that.
Yeah.
There's a fantastic cover of "Why Can't This Be Love" by Van Halen by the Gigolo Ants, as if the Beatles had recorded it. It's just like it blows my mind every
That's
time I hear
awesome.
it. I'm sure this will now erupt into a conversation about everybody's favorite cover songs of all time. But I do have some questions.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I can't breathe water, it seems. So I have some questions that have come in. And I've tried to answer some of them, but I've got one for Jared, because Jared, if you're not familiar, Jared really helped orchestrate much of the Rocksmith Remastered upgrade last year in October to celebrate the 5th anniversary of Rocksmith. There was a free update that was put out that changed everybody's Rocksmith 2014s to Rocksmith 2014 Remastered. A lot of creature comfort, some tweaks of things like, as we got older and we saw how people were using the game, we wanted to make some improvements, make it a little bit easier to use, added some search functionality, added song lists, things like that. Jared was the guy that actually helped shepherd all that. That's why we pulled him off of note tracking, so that he could take more of a sort of a design role. So I have a design question for you from Nanao, I think. Nanao. Did you consider any changes or improvements for Master Mode that have not made it into the game? Now, you did tweak some Master Mode stuff, right? Like, what went into the Master Mode changes on Remastered?
Well, the biggest change was to make Master Mode play a little nicer with some of our leveling conventions that developed over the course of churning out weekly DLC. I think we got, frankly, much better at note tracking and making the leveling smooth. But some of the behind the curtains processes that make that work sort of interfered with the behavior of Master Mode, and you would get sort of odd behaviors with Master Mode, where things didn't behave as smoothly as you would expect, and you would have certain phrases that would go into Master Mode much too fast, and you'd have other phrases that felt like you could play over and over and over again without them ever going into Master Mode. So the overall target for the Remastered update vis-a-vis Master Mode was to make it as smooth and uniform as possible, so that it behaved in a more predictable manner.
Right, yeah. Okay. Did you consider other tweaks that didn't make it in?
Absolutely. With everything we did, we considered a number of approaches, and I mean, as with anything you work on, you take a few different swings at it, and you pick the one that makes
works
the most
best.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of impossible to do anything like that any other way. Like if you're doing anything creative, there's going to be stuff that gets left on the cutting room floor, or like, oh, that would have been right, but oh, you know what? Like, there's 3 things that we didn't anticipate that make that actually bother everything else. So let's not bother with it now.
Exactly.
So
I gotta say though, the way Master Mode functions now is great. I was practicing Bad Romance downstairs before we came up here, and I forgot to turn off Master Mode. But luckily, I was able to, finish my playthrough.
Sure.
And it just sort of eased me into not relying on the note way to play the song.
That's the idea, is that it's a smooth, continuous thing. It's not an abrupt or surprising or frustrating thing.
Yeah.
Right. I have a couple more. What did Anthony just do with the pick on the neck? I thought that symbol was just a slide, asks Miles Bristow. In that song, I noticed there is an unbelievably long scratch while you move up and then back down. It's like this big parabola, but that's a scratch, right? That's what it's, a pick slide.
All the way up and down the neck. And if you look closely, you'll see a tapping indicator on the note head. So you basically just tap with your pick. Oh, right. I got some sound.
Yes.
And then back down.
And what is it? It's a tapped tremolo vibrato, slide. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's some people are really, I didn't recognize that. And sometimes the
it's a package deal.
Yeah, you are combining 2 or 3 techniques in our notation, so people are kind of like, yeah, what? I thought that was just a slide. No, it's a pick scrape. Speaking of which, Beatmaster80 says, does the game demand accuracy with the string scratching, or is it just the timing that it's looking for?
No, actually, I made it so that it's just a drawing of that gesture. So you don't have to worry about not getting scored on that.
Like, oh no, I only made it up to the 11th fret, and I think that he was actually scratching up to the 13th fret. It's not
exactly.
Gonna ding you
It's
for
just
that.
like the idea of playing that technique.
So
is
note trackers
have
have a few options. You can say this has to be precisely as notated. You have to play it exactly. You can say, if you're making some noise there, I'm going to assume that you did it. And you can also just say, play it, don't play it, whatever. I'm ignoring this, and it's purely a visual representation. So for things like that, where players might not have the hardware to make a certain sound, or it might be impossible to do accurately or consistently, often those things will be ignored.
Yeah, and it's just a sort of a nice texture in the mix, and it's purely background. It's a nice effect. So I added that, I think, closer to the top level. And that's typically what we do. Excuse me. Jeez.
It's all right. Would you like some iced tea?
Ooh. That's typically
Here's a fresh one.
What we do when we note track those techniques that won't score players. It's just to throw in there so that players can play.
Sure.
It's not unlike incorporating dive bombs.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
not everyone has that setup.
Sure.
Not everyone can play it, but it's fun to include when we can.
Yeah. I'll give your voice a rest while I answer the next one from Eduardo9283. He says, I know drop pedals were discussed recently. Is there a chance one might be added later, or something that would be considered if another remaster of Rocksmith were to be released? We've talked about this, I think, a fair amount, but just to cover it one more time, the problem with using a drop pedal, which is specifically a bit of technology that you play one note, but a different note at a different pitch sounds, right? So like you would play an E, but for things like Halestorm this week, where you have a drop D tuning where you're supposed to take the low string down from E to D, the problem there is that you're still hearing the E in the room, but the game is playing back a D, and we have found that is super distracting, especially for people who are learning how to play guitar. So for something like that, I mean, we always, as Jared has sort of pointed out, we consider a lot of ideas, but we have kind of a really good reason for not doing it that way. So, like, is there ever a chance? Well, yeah, I guess there's always a chance, but there's certainly no plans for it for that reason. There's a cognitive dissonance between what you play and what you hear, and if that doesn't match up, that kind of undercuts the very nature of what Rocksmith is designed to do, which is to make learning how to play guitar logical and comfortable. And so if you're sort of like, I sounds like I'm wrong, but you're right. Like, extra for experts, what I've heard from people who buy drop pedals specifically, and we don't recommend putting any pedals in the chain because the Rocksmith wants to hear the purest tone out of your guitar possible. So clean is best. But I've heard from people that, you're not going to break anything, or if you do break anything, then it's up to you. That they use a drop pedal and it works fine, which is great. Like for those of you who are adventurous, go ahead. But we're really not planning on incorporating it into the software because that's that's the reason. It's because it kind of throws off people that are trying to learn how to play guitar, and that's our core.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I knew you were going to come in there. One more
Nice,
question.
well said.
I've got a couple of questions here, but I think we've only got time for one. When learning to play guitar with the metronome, when learning guitar, playing with a metronome will become more and more important. Why does Rocksmith not have a metronome function? For example, a metronome while playing in riff repeater would be amazing. It's funny you mention, because in session mode we actually do have a metronome. Now, granted, it's not a global metronome, which may be what he's suggesting. Sorry, that came from or she. I'm not sure. It comes from Steph112. But you can actually play along with the metronome. We have not one but 3 metronomes in session mode. You can create in session mode a custom band, something like 200 virtual instruments, including my favorite kazoo.
Rain stick.
Yes, the rain stick is in there. There's some pretty unusual things, but there are 3 different flavors of metronome. So if you'd like to practice that in session, we figured it would be useful there, where you're more of woodshedding. You're making your own path and figuring out what you want to work on. But yeah, I mean, fair point. It's a good idea that maybe we could create a metronome for the entire game. Of course, that may not work with certain songs that have to shift tempo. We would have to work that out. But yeah, there is a metronome function in there. If you would like to practice with a metronome, I would highly recommend you go in and check out session mode, which I don't think enough people do as it is. Yeah. Anything else?
Well, I would add to that and say that you can practice certain sections of any given song in the game in Riff Repeater, and practice grooving to that particular song, which is also helpful.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Have yourselves a lovely Thanksgiving.
You
Thank
too.
You
Thank
too,
you very
Dan.
much.
Appreciate that.
I'm just going to go to sleep. That's all I'm planning to do this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, that, and I'm actually going to upgrade some guitars. Hey, thank you both, and thank you for your
course, thank
questions.
you.
I will try to answer the remaining questions here in the chat before the end of the show. But for now, we got one more song to play, and before that, in case you missed it, we have a lot of DLC in this game. You may have noticed we have 1,100 songs in this game. And growing every week. And if you like Halestorm, maybe you noticed that Halestorm is something significant for us. This is our second female-led artist in as many weeks. So that's kind of great to get some more voices in there. But if you are looking for sort of female-oriented rock music, we have that. There's the female lead song pack, which includes Heart, Flyleaf, and the Love Bites So Do I single from Halestorm. So if you were looking for the other Halestorm songs, that's an easy way to get it. And of course, you can't go wrong with those artists. And then one year we did the Women Who Rock pack, where we specifically put together female artists. And this has one of my favorite songs in the entire game, which is Take It Off by the Donnas. I just love that. They're a San Jose Bay Area based punk band. And man, the groove on that one just gets me. And it's not the easiest thing to play either. You will find it pleasantly challenging, but super upbeat and a really nasty, gnarly guitar tone. I love it. So if you're looking for more female-fronted rock, we have other artists as well, but these are the first ones that leapt to mind when I had to make this slide. Next slide, please. Yes, we also are offering Halestorm on our iOS product. If you are not familiar with this, that's probably because you don't live in Canada. iOS is coming to Rocksmith, or rather the other way around. Rocksmith is coming to iOS worldwide eventually. Right now, it's in a soft launch period in Canada. It has been for a little while. It probably will be for a little while longer because we are continuing to add upgrades. A pretty major one went out just recently where you can now play Rocksmith on your iPhone. Originally, our soft launch was only limited to iPad. No longer now. You can play on iPhone and iPod Touch. And we are also releasing DLC every week for that library. That library is, we're trying to mirror as closely as we can the same library that we have for the consoles and the PC, but keep in mind that the licensing for mobile is a different license for console and PC. Such is the wonderful world of business. I will not bore you with it, but I'm thrilled that we were able to get 4 Halestorm songs in the pack. So that's the 3 that are in this week's pack and Bad Romance. So if you were looking to play all 4 songs from this week's stream, you could do that on iOS. That is not all we have on iOS this week. We also have another variety pack. I believe this is the 2010s pack or 2000s pack? I don't know. So it's the 2010s, says Pody, with all of his fingers. He's still got all of his fingers, even though he does woodshop. So Gaslight, Anthem, White Denim, and Titus Andronicus. You may not be familiar with these songs. Some of these were actually on the disc for previous versions of Rocksmith. So maybe they're new to you, or maybe they're old friends that you're reconnecting with on iOS. But either way, thank you for your support of iOS. We are continuing to upgrade it. You will see some more upgrades going forward. And if you are lucky enough to be in Canada and check out this product, please do give us feedback. We recently had Lil Wongsta, who I know is in the chat room, give us a fantastic, he took the time to really give us substantial feedback about how he was using iOS and what he thought worked well and what he thought could work better. That's exactly what our developers are looking for. So whether you post in the forums at rocksmith.com or you give us reviews on the iTunes store, those kind of things really matter. And yes, we will be bringing this out worldwide. Don't have a date for it yet, but guarantee you, when I know it, I will share it with you. I want to share it with you. But just so you know, that's coming, and it's something to look forward to, or it's something to check out this weekend, depending on where you live. We are winding down, but we're not completely done. We still have another very awesome Halestorm song to play, plus we have some great Ernie Ball gifts to give away. And I have some sort of news about what's going on in the next week or so. But let's kick it off with the music, of course. Like, that's the point of why we're here. And my guests for this song are David Stevens, our QA supervisor. Hi, David Stevens, with a beautiful Ibanez.
Dan Emmerich.
People love your Ibanez. That's your
Yeah,
personal guitar.
It is.
And people always comment on how pretty it is. And with an even crazier, weirder guitar is Brian Shu. He's got the headless Kiesel. From which knee carven, I guess is how you would say it. How it's you're a week into this guitar. Are you still in love?
Yeah, it's one of the best playing guitars I have. I absolutely like playing it.
You're tangled around your mic and we couldn't hear you.
Love it.
Oh, that's good to wow. That's good to hear. And what song will you guys be playing on these beautiful personal guitars today?
I Get Off.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So David will be playing the rhythm chart, and I'll be playing the lead.
And there's a reason for that.
Okay, good, because I had you written down as lead and bass, so I'm really glad that you let
Oh,
Brian
I'm still
and Pody,
bass.
Brian and Travis. Oh, is that so? Okay, then tell me the story.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you
note tracked it.
You did know track it.
Well, yeah. So transcribing this tune was kind of funny at first because I obviously she was playing in a drop B tuning, I think, right? It's drop B.
Yes.
And so I was trying to transcribe the lead guitar, and I was like, how is he getting all these like weird, like what are these chord shapes that he's doing? They don't sound the same. So I found this video actually, or like I couldn't figure out how to play those voicings the same way he was doing in drop B. And I found this video of both of them sitting on the couch playing through the entire song, and the lead guitar player was obviously in drop D. So he plays in drop D, and she plays in drop B. So they get these really cool.
It's like peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah. A lot of people kind of pointed out the unusual tuning on this one, and they were like, "What? Oh, I have to do what?" You know, because it's a bit of a commitment to drop down to B.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like they get some really nice big chord voices out of
they're
this.
super chunky.
Yeah, and in the master recording, obviously during the main choruses and stuff, I think most of the guitars are in B, in drop B. You can't really. I'm not sure if you can really hear the drop D guitar, but when they play it live, it's there. It's just really quiet. But when they play it live, he's always in drop D, and the solo is impossible to play if you're playing in drop B. So I had to do it in drop D.
All right.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yes.
We shall.
Let's do it. It's I Get Off by Halestorm, one of the 3 songs in this week's Halestorm Song Pack. After this, we'll give away that final Ernie Ball Pack as well. We've got some strings and accessories that just about anybody out there who plays guitar or wants to play guitar or bass would probably appreciate.
Yeah, the timing is really weird on this. I think I'm muting too hard too. That's a cool chord.
Very nice.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I messed that up.
No, you know. Oh, well, thanks for making
How
it
dare
up.
you?
That's ridiculously high up there too, man.
Yeah, that's why you can't do it.
It just kind of comes out of nowhere too. They're
Yeah.
just like, you know what? We need a shred right here.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do it.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I like it.
Excellent. Anything else you want to add?
No,
would
it's pretty straightforward.
Would you just like to go home for Thanksgiving and enjoy the rest? Because I'm happy to just move on to the giveaway if that's what you'd like.
You should give some stuff away.
Okay, well, let's give some stuff
Are we
away.
giving away a turkey?
No, we're not giving away a turkey. We're giving away something better. We're giving
Two
away
turkeys?
Hard to care for your guitar with a turkey.
Yeah, I
Not
do not
impossible.
Yeah, I do not
hard.
recommend it. You are going to need something stronger than Wonder Wipes to get the turkey
That's how
off
I
of your
clean
guitar.
my fretboards. I just rub it.
You just
turkey
rub
leg.
game
Explains so
birds on
much.
there. You
That's
just- do you find turkey works better than squab or you know? Anyway, we're going to do the Ernie Ball giveaway. This is what we've got to give you now. We gave one of these away earlier. Wow, we went weird. We gave one of these away at the top of the show. We'll give away another one, and you know. As much as I love to give stuff away and as much as I'm grateful to Ernie Ball for giving us these prizes, I have to tell you that it's been really useful having our friend Honeypot01 as our intern for the last, several months. And one of the things that he took off my plate was actually packing these boxes, filling out the addresses, and sending them off to the mailroom so that you would get them. And he did a great job because I still see tweets and stuff with people's photos of their prize packs when they arrive there safely, and that's all thanks to him. Well, he's gone. Yesterday was his last day of his internship. He's off for beautiful blue skies and whatnot. But that means that I have to pack these boxes myself again. So, before I leave today, I will put a pack of strings, brand new Ernie Ball regular Slinky strings. I'll also get a pack of regular bass strings by myself. I will put these in a cardboard box along with a dozen picks from Ernie Ball and 3 of our super rare special 1,000-song milestone picks, 2 of those, and then 1 of our new pink picks because we still have some more of the black and white picks. Plus, I'll give you the Ernie Ball Wonder Wipes. I'll find wherever it was that Honeypot was keeping those. He's very organized, so it'll probably be easy to find, but I want to complain about something. You've also got a peg winder, which makes your string changes much easier. I'll be using some of these this weekend myself. And, of course, a brand new black strap. All of this stuff, I will slave over a hot cardboard box to pack up that for you and send it off ASAP. Now, if you win, UB Vertigo will let you know by announcing it publicly, but then check your Twitch messages here. Look in the other box because chances are good that you're not friends with UB Vertigo, so you may not see his incoming message. But what he's going to be asking you for is confirmation of your name. He's going to need your name, your address, and your phone number. Now, we don't use this for anything nefarious. We don't hold on to this information. It's just that sometimes our shippers need to know what your phone number is, and our mailroom requires it so that if there's a problem with your delivery, the delivery service can contact you directly and say, hey, I have a package for you. Rather than just sending it back to us, because we don't want them back. I mean, these Ernie Ball prizes are yours, courtesy of our friends at Ernie Ball. We are just the delivery folk. So help us make that delivery easier by making sure that Doug has all the information that he needs in a private message. Doug will then send those those physical addresses to me, and I swear, if I get them right away, I will bring them over to the mailroom. They won't go out till next week because, again, the next 2 days the office is closed. But I will make sure that they're all wrapped up and taped up and ready to go before I leave the office today on my own vacation. I will do that for you with all the guilt that implies. So thanks for watching and good luck. Few final things on our way out the door. You may have noticed, if you're a PC player, that the Steam Autumn Sale kicked in today, and we are part of that. So keep in mind that not only can you buy things for yourself on Steam, like, I don't know, maybe you've got a wish list full of songs that you were waiting to go on sale. Well, 40% off of almost all of our DLC is on right now, plus 50% off both Rocksmith Remastered and the original Rocksmith. If you like the songs that came with the original Rocksmith back in 2011, you can actually import those with a small fee and get 50 more songs in your DLC library, but you must own the original Rocksmith 1, or just Rocksmith as we called it back in the day, in order for that to happen. But now's a good time to save a bunch of money. I mean, half off of the original thing, then an extra $10 on top of that, just so that we can make sure the artists get their what's due to them for the licensing fees and stuff. It's a really good deal. So, and of course, if you've already got all that stuff yourself, you can buy this stuff and send it to a friend as a gift through Steam. You can say, hey, I know I talk endlessly about this Rocksmith game. I thought you might like to try it yourself, and here you go. And while it certainly does use the real-tone cable to plug in an electric guitar, you can plug in a microphone to your PC and use that as the input thing with a your input method with an acoustic guitar. So if you'd like to just work on acoustic, you can totally do that without the cable. So in any case, spread the word. Obviously, we'd like to make some money this week, and we'd like to pass those savings on to you. So if you're interested in it, go to Steam now, and you'll find out all about it. The other thing that we always do every week is on Friday mornings, if you stop by the Rocksmith.com forums, which I highly recommend because they're generally very nice people, you will find a clue for the following week's DLC. So whatever's coming out Tuesday, we tend to tease early for experts on our forums on Friday. Well, we're not going to do that. You know what? Damn it, we deserve a day off. Since the office is closed and we didn't, man, Doug works so hard as UB Vertigo. The last thing he needs to do is get his ass out of bed on Friday morning on a day he's supposed to have off. And even Rolling Stone 222, who's been creating most of our clues and the puzzles that go with them for the last several months. It's just like, you know what? Everybody deserves a week off. So here's the nice thing. You're still going to get a clue, just not through us. Go to theriffrepeater.com. Many of you Rocksmith fans may be familiar with theriffrepeater.com because you think that we pay him, and we don't. Elliot, Toy Machine SH, Elliot is just a really big fan, and he loves music games, and he's covered music games as a fan with his blogs for many, many years, much longer than Rocksmith has been around. But one of the things that his site does is they report on stuff. Even when we don't want him to report on stuff, Elliot will report on stuff. So no, he's really not an official Ubisoft outlet, but he's certainly enthusiastic. And I said, you know what? We want a week off. Do you want the traffic that day? Do you want people to stop by your thing? Do you want to make a puzzle? He goes, yeah, I'll make a puzzle. So I can confirm that the next DLC pack will be revealed exclusively through theriffrepeater.com. So check that out on Friday. I believe Elliot, the man who runs the site, as much as something like that can be run, he's gonna. I think he's gonna post it on Friday morning. So follow the Riff Repeater on Twitter too for updates on that as well. And thank you for giving us a week off, Elliot. I appreciate it. Doug appreciates it, and I think even Rolling Stone 222 might appreciate it as well. I think you're going to be interested in what the reveal is. This is not one of the things. We don't care. Let's give it to Elliot. No. I think that people are going to be pretty excited when they find out what's coming next week. So until then, we'll see you next week. Now, there's one more thing. I think I even did a slide for it because next Monday or this coming Monday will be the last Monday of the month, which is when we traditionally do our Rocksmith Encore-ness. And as a result, Rocksmith Encore is our bonus stream that we do once a month, where we let note trackers or folks who are involved in the creation of Rocksmith sort of come on, and we do a special stream that has nothing to do with the actual DLC. One of the things we've been asked for a lot is guitar effects. How do these pedals work? What's the difference between distortion, overdrive, and fuzz? What do I need to know if the holidays are coming and my family is saying, what kind of stuff do you want? What are you interested in? And like, maybe you would like some pedals and you just don't know where to start. That's what this is for. No dumb questions. There's no such thing. If you're not familiar with how effects work, we're going to bring in Brendan West. He's the guy that I lovingly call Rocksmith's tone chaperone. He is the person who handles the authentic tones that you find in the games. When you buy a DLC song, you also get an accurate tone that sounds just like the recording. And for that, somebody has to make those. And that's actually Brendan who does that, and he does it with the same tone designer tool that you can find at our main menu. He is not using any sort of magic spells to do that. He's just using his ears. So here's somebody, he's honestly the person who I think knows effects the best. He has agreed he will go over like how effects work, and we'll be able to answer some of your questions and stuff like that. Plus we'll give away some DLC as well. So if nothing else, come for the free stuff, stay for the Brendan, who we don't get to spend enough stream time with anyway. So that's this coming Monday, November 27th, 3 o'clock, same time that we would normally do it. But right when we get back from our vacation, we're gonna get into that. So hopefully we'll see you on Monday, and then of course again next Thursday for our standard stream where we will do next week's DLC. And if you'd like to know what next week's DLC will be, check out theriffrepeater.com on Friday. I'm tired of talking and I want to go to sleep now, as do Brian and Travis, who are helping do the direction of the show. So thank you, and happy U.S. Thanksgiving from all of us here. Thank you very much for all the support that you guys give us. I mean, obviously there's a reason that we are still here talking to you about DLC. That's because you're still interested in supporting the game. So thank you very much. We will see you on Monday. Here's another look at Halestorm on our way out. Have a great holiday and a nice weekend, everybody.
To your knees, I'm getting off on you, getting off on me. Give you what you want, but nothing is so free. It's a give and take kind of love we make. When the line is crossed, I get off, I get off. What you don't know, what you can't see, is what I do for you.